Okay, score 3-2 for Lynn. Match point. We're on Misty Twedos. In the previous game, Lynn did a repeat strategy of a build he lost with. Blade, Fast Tech Tier 2, Double Beastry, Tier 3, Shadow, 4 Wyverns and Venom, 1 Bat, Kodo Drums, Racks, 2 more Bats, a Kodo, Headhunters, TC. Lost pretty badly with it on Springtime, but won with it in the previous game. Neither played perfect, especially some mistakes can happen, even among the best, as the series goes on. That was game number 5, this is game 6. I'm expecting Blade Voodoo Lounge again. Now, on this version of Misty Twedos, some people call it Twisty Meadows, cross map is forced. Cross map knowledge, the certainty that where the opponent is on a 4-player map, is a luxury that people in my days didn't have. In my day, you would spawn here as an orc, you would scout to the right, hope that the human is there. If he is, the human would still laboratory creep with militia with a power built altar. And then if you stole the rock golem with a peon and you showed up with your Farseer immediately, you could kill some peasants. If you scout here and they're not here, but they're instead cross map, you would find them when they're halfway with the peon here. You get here and the human is not creeping this. You would check, are you here and you're just not creeping it? He's also not here. He's actually here and he's already done with the camp. He's now level 2.2, 2.7 if he found XP tome. And then he would go for the 131 camp to get level 3. Then he's in your base at minute 320 with 2 level 2 water elementals and you have 1 grunt and you die. That was the extreme suffering that people of my generation suffered. Lynn is lucky. He doesn't have to deal with that. XP tome is gone. Forced cross map. His peon got attacked. He wanted to know which way Happy was going towards. He sees that it's DK creeping. Steals a level 2, level 1 null. That's 20 XP stolen. If we ignore the opportunity time of what Blade could be doing instead right now, that's a 40 XP swing, removing 20 and getting 20. If we don't ignore the opportunity time, then Blade could be creeping some small camp somewhere on the map. Isn't Blade kind of like a parasite? He could not sustain life by himself. He could not creep this camp by himself. But he could mooch off of the Death Knight's efforts to creep the level 5. And if he parasitizes correctly, he can steal the Overseer level 5. Something that he could not have solo crept himself. Blade is a parasite. DK, the host.
A player's forces are under attack.
Is he gonna steal this? He is not. Doesn't want to waste his clarity and heal solve yet. Really doesn't want to waste it, and in fact didn't want to show that he was here all along. He goes out of vision, I think never spotted by Happy, so that he could re-wind walk with his heal solve still fully running and track Happy to the next camp. Happy is going for a small camp because he knows that this is a possibility, and he knows that Blade might be still tracking him. Blade steals an item. Steals a creep, I should say, not an item. Gets 48 XP, another 96 XP swing. And now that he knows that Blade is out of mana, now Happy is allowed to creep some big. Because suddenly there's surround threat. Double Beastry tier 3 Shadow. But he goes for another small camp. He's just collecting minimalist items. Cloak of Shadows, Ring of Superiority. Another Ring of Superiority. I guess he just finds that the Overseer camps cost him too much mana resources. So if he goes for the level 5 Overseer camps, over here, this one, then Happy will have to coil more ghouls from the creep damage. Blade will be more annoying. And then he will use all of his coil mana. He will get a higher grade item, like a claws instead of a ring of superiority. But even though it's a higher grade item, he won't have as much mana. And I guess what Happy is doing as well is he wants to get level 3 safely and with plenty of mana so that he can start threatening wyverns, etc. Ironic that then he should still use 2 coils here, even on this small camp, just to save his ghouls. That's a triple ghoul coil on this small little camp. Pretty good result for Lyn, I gotta say. Lyn also bought double circlet. Ah. So this is really a standard part of the playbook every single time for Lyn, right? I do this when I want to show off something to stream. It's like, look, you can take this level 7 creep with Shadow solo. Isn't that cool? And people always think it's awesome, which is the streamer feedback loop. But Lyn has a sustainable way of actual value creeping. Not with Shadow first on Ogre 7, but with Shadow second on Overseer 5. Makes a lot more sense. Unfortunately, this Troll Warlord prioritizes wyverns on the threat table over blades and shadow. It will prioritize any orc unit over blades and shadow. For some reason, the threat table for Troll Warlord is TC is allowed to be attacked, but blade shadow is not when there's any units. So you had to micro the wyverns away, and they in fact took a lot of damage from all these piercing attacks. Getting a Troll Warlord 6 though, especially with such a sublime item as Lion Horn or Stormwind, that's pretty good for Lyn, because if you think about it, on Hammerfell, Lyn lost both Troll 6 with the Fat Consumes. Happy got both. Now they traded them out. Excellent items for both. That's Rope of the Magi, double Ring of Superiority, Circlet and Gloves for Lich. Now, I think that Circlet is also purchased. Yeah, he purchased the Circlet for Lich as well. This Circlet buying on 200 gold Circlets during a time where Warcraft 3 skill is the highest, as things naturally go, with people keep committing themselves to training the game. Until we are all 60 years old anyway. But for now I still think we're seeing the highest level Warcraft 3, which is normal because it, it builds on the shoulders of those that came before. Which in Lyn's case is also himself, by the way. But either way, the Circlet buying at 200 gold proves that Circlet buying was underrated back then. Even though people was already doing it all the time. It was still underrated. Because nowadays I see top level undeads and humans buy Circlet on DK, Lich and Archmage. And previously people only bought Circlet on Blade. Then eventually people start buying Circlet on Demon as well to match the Blade. But not usually for Archmage, MK, DK or Lich. It was for the agility heroes primarily. But it makes sense. Circlet is a level up. Circlet is a level up worth of stats. Amazing items for Lyn. True Shot. I will say True Shot not as immediate of an impact as Boots of Quel'Thalas would be, or Rope of the Magi with heals, but it's very, very good in the course of a long game. 7% bonus damage on ranged. And Wyverns have poor upgrade scaling for attack upgrades, so this is kind of like an attack upgrade for them. Normally attack upgrades are worth 12%. For Wyverns, I believe it's 7.5% damage. Which is okay. A lot of their auto attack damage comes from Venom Spears anyway. Little attack by Lyn. He doesn't want to commit on the gold mine because it's deep. And it would force him to use his speed scroll if there's a down portal. Happy seems wholly unconcerned. Loses the tome. Does not pound turtle. Is instead choosing to reproduce lost buildings. Shop gonna be here, I guess, maybe? Or maybe he'll rebuild it here. Armor upgrade coming in. 50 pop has been reached. It's a Kodo plus Wyvern and Bat. This time more Wyverns. This is the first time I actually see Lynn proper sticking with Mass Wyvern and not transitioning to Barracks. The Kodo still being there as the third ground unit outside of Blades and Shadow.
Is under siege. A player's forces are under attack.
Oh, this is pretty sick. There's a Staff of Telegiggle, but the Shade is tracking the Shadow. Which means Happy can creepjack here with a kind of sixth sense. Lynn is going to do an extended. You can tell by the 7th burrow. It's 6th burrow, but you know, it's 70 pop. Great Hall is 1. The 7th supply building. He's not going to go straight to 60 pop with 600 gold. He's preparing. I imagine he won't produce until he has 1400 gold. I think at 1400 gold, he's going to buy Tiny Great Hall and make double Wind Rider. That would be my guess. What's Blade doing in the meantime? He used Invulnerability Potion, apparently. To kill, I don't know what. Staffs, 2. Home. Clarity, Great Hall? No, Clarity, Lightning Orb. So, 1400 gold, go over. Meanwhile, Happy is creeping like insanely much. And Happy is no longer allowing himself to be fooled going Alchemist 3rd. Even if that could be technically better against Mass Wyvern than Dark Ranger. He doesn't want to be transitioned anymore against his will. Against the Headhunters. The Headhunter TC transition with Walker Tar and then be stuck with an Alchemist that really doesn't feel as good as... what's he gonna drop? Mantle? Ring. Okay, Ring of Protection +3. You can tell it's a high level game because Happy clicked a different place for his shop after it was destroyed. Yep, 3 different places already. Here, here, here. That's so funny, because in Bronze they would make it... If they made it here at the start of the game, they will remake it 75 times in the same spot. Pendant of Mana, 250 bonus mana. And Amulet of Spell Shield on the Lich. Isn't that better on the Death Knight? Preventing DK from getting hexed seems to be of paramount importance to me. I would never put it on the Lich. Why no Wyvern Poison upgrade? No, I think he has it. My overlay doesn't show it. You're probably used to the Back to Warcraft overlay or the Chinese overlay that shows everything. Okay, so... He roughly went over at 1400, I think. I didn't keep track of it, but he's over and he's been over for a bit and now he Tiny Great Halls. Is this best of 7? Yes. Yeah, he bets on Lyn not targeting DK. Yeah, the window to kill Lich is easier because he has less health, 775. DK has 875. Actually kind of gap closed with the Manual of Health circlet and double superiority. Hexing Lich is also a way to prevent your Wyverns from getting Novat at the start of a fight. Also, if you delay the first Nova, it necessarily delays the second Nova and the third and the fourth because they are all waiting one train card after the next on the train tracks of Nova cooldowns. So it's actually a good Nova suppression tactic just to hex at the start. One armor upgrade. Happy gets the 61 pop and is making Gargs. He's got 2 armor upgrades. No third. Look, we missed a creep. Last night's pizza crust. Let's eat it. I think Lyn needs a shop. If he makes a shop now, that could be really helpful. Dude, isn't Lyn in such a great spot? 76 population. Mass Air, TC 3rd with Stormwind Aura and Endurance. Ruined bracers on Shadow is pretty sweet, though his health pool is a bit low to make use of it. I feel like buying Petty Up to Vitality on Shadow would do a lot of work, but it doesn't help in the first second of a fight if you're being aggressive. It just insulates you from loss. If you just don't lose the Shadow, you don't need it. You have more units. Scroll the Beast, Speed Scroll. I think Happy will be great at devouring that away. He didn't. It's not devoured yet. It's not all devoured. Oh my god, those wyverns are... Oh, this is so bad for Lyn. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's such a good fight by Happy. Those wyverns. That really wasn't it. But he still has expo advantage. They both lost a lot. Oh. Oh, the Hex! You got this, Lyn! No way! Dude, it's over. DK level 5. Still has orb, by the way. Normally when Lich dies, you no longer have an orb. No, the blade is dead! You have to block with the Shadow. No, it's not enough. Bro, just getting coiled twice like that. Oh, he did make a shop. You run the wrong way, boy. Man. I want to see that fight again. I'm going to restart. I feel like the ideal form of a fight would see the wyverns split more. Somehow Orc Micro has never become good enough to do a split of about this big. All the way from here to here. One wyvern in one space. Split everywhere, right? Why is this good? You don't get Novat by everything, and you spread envenomed spears. But the moment you give a move command to wyverns, they will congregate. If they're all in the same group. When you chase someone, they all come to the center. Okay, so he speed scrolls. He targets Dark Ranger with speed scroll, Scroll of the Beast. There is a silence that went down on the Shadowhunter. Is he silenced? Who's silenced? I heard... Oh yeah, there it is. Silence. Yeah, Shadow is silenced. So he goes for the Dark Ranger. Wow. Oh my god. That was actually such a solid attempt. I didn't see that happening before. No way. He got him to 11 HP on the final hit. One attack upgrade and he would have had it. Okay, so that just screws Lyn's fight. Because he put so much into that.
Players' forces are under attack.
I see. Trying to get the Dark Ranger again. Wow. So at what point does he go for the Lich? He kills Dark Ranger first. Windwalks to dodge. I see. Nice Hex. This is why Amulet should be on DK. He wouldn't have lost Lich. Okay, this is crazy. So this happens. Technically, Lyn doesn't need to lose his heroes now. It's because he walks into the DK and ghouls and tries to fight, not respecting the double coil from DK5. He could have walked away. Just walk away. Bam.
A player's forces are under
So, if you're thinking of copying Lyn's play, just don't make those mistakes and keep your hero alive. But also, it's going to be hard for you to do everything right that he did. It will be very hard. What did he sell? So now he's gonna lose all his peons. All of which will make dark minions. Level 2. Not lesser dark minions. These are dark minions. Lich rebought. Bought Staff of Telly. Sold whatever item he had before. Maybe it was a Ring of Superiority. And bought the staff. Came back here. Goes for the blade instantly. Who now has ruined bracers. Clever. It was on Shadow before. Blade might already have been dead. Yeah, he would have been dead if not for the bracers on Blade. Oh my god.
Players' forces are under attack.
Now it looks like a really good situation for Happy. Now, he did have to retrain his Lich from the tavern, which cost a lot of money, but somehow he's still at 50 pop. Lyn is loath to give up the base. Comes back in again with 4 Wind Riders. Nova hits everything. Lyn targets the statue. There is a town portal. Statue goes down. I'm not sure what that coil hit, actually. Did he accidentally coil his Lich instead of a Wind Rider? Oh, that's close. Oh, he coiled the Destroyer, I see. And it did live from it. And now we get to see the effects of poison. This is why you should not get poisoned. Huh, not as much as I thought. 330 health. Okay. What do you do in this situation as Happy? He immediately buys Scroll of Town Portal again. Keeps cranking out statues so that he has 2 again. Steals experience with his Death Knight here for safety purposes. Because if he kept his DK5 outside, he wouldn't be stealing 1/3 of the XP. But he wanted to be safe, wanted to have Aura together, wanted to be able to maybe coil his Dark Ranger if possible, if necessary. Which makes sense. Kodo. Kodo. Raider. Lyn is sharking for reinforcement kills. Most of the creeps have been rinsed out of the map on Twisted Meadows, which is impressive. There's one more gold mine here without the bacon. Just pizza crust. And then we've got the corners. Will the corners be accessed in this game? I don't know. There's no creeps left otherwise, so it becomes this game of chicken, this western standoff where you both save up on 50 population. Dare the other to blink first. Happy has the advantage of a shade, which is an investment he made. We see a Zeppelin coming. Has exactly 1 pop for Zeppelin. Zeppelin actually got nerfed a couple of months ago. It used to cost 0 pop. We had a lot of fun in challenges doing 30, 40 Zeppelins. Because they cost no population. But now they cost 1 pop, which is fair. So you have to be at 49 if you want to buy one without getting punished with gold loss. This is going to prove to be a fertile ground. Wait, how can he make Acolyte again? He was... I don't know. Maybe he lost the shade. I think maybe Lyn killed the shade with dust or something. Is there dust? Oh yeah, there it is. Shadow has dust, so they're both going to the island. Because this is the safest place for both of them to expand. What's he gonna be? Drake? Felhound? Rock Golem. Magic immune, 850 health. 29 to 33 piercing damage, I think. Can attack air with that. Is melee otherwise with normal attack damage. And can throw a 1-second stun rock boulder. What's he gonna get? Scroll of freaking restoration. Maybe it's 150 health, 100 mana, or maybe it's 200 health, 150 mana for every unit and hero in range. It's even better if you've got like walkers and doctors, because now the mana will only go to heroes, but it's a freaking good thing. It's a good thing. Tiny Great Hall. He's leaving 1 Kodo at home. Lyn has no town portal, which makes this feel a lot more dodgy. Where's Happy actually? Standing in his base. You might say, hey, I'm gonna get all the islands and I'm gonna expand multiple times. And then I'm gonna go triple boneyard. But Happy is just unsummoning a cigarette. He had 70 overcap, now he's got 60. And by unsummoning the cigarette, getting 75 gold, he could squeeze a slightly faster 58 pop attack. For the infamous 23-minute timing attack. Yeah, he's got... Happy always has murder on his mind. He always wants to hit some kind of attack that the opponent might not be ready for. He breaks the compact of gentleman's agreement of not fighting, not attacking yet. You're not supposed to do this. You're both supposed to be in a mode where you keep expanding and turtling, but Happy just attacks. These bats should insta-explode on Gargs. That one did anyway. I think Gargs are 185 gold, so every time a bat explodes on a Garg, that's a 25 gold advantage for Orc. Not to mention the 40 XP the Garg gives as well. Or in this case, 40 divided by 3, which is 13.3, which is 14. That's 42 XP to these 3 global heroes. Wow. 1 auto attack and a coil and a bat dies. I think most of that XP went to the blade. Pretty good. Killing 2 bestiaries after someone goes over 50 pop is very valuable. But Lin is back down under 50 again because of the Bat Rider explosions. So now he actually has the space to redevelop his bestiaries without being punished by low upkeep. He made 1 more peon such as that fits in the 50 pop. Has 1 bestiary. Is he gonna get Forest Troll Berserker here? Yeah. Forest Troll Berserker Bat. Doesn't want second bestiary anymore. Is playing on a shorter clock. Blade has Potion of Divinity. Happy is over 50 pop. They both have a gold mine. Technically, I feel like Lin is in the lead. Rock Golem. TP. Buys TP again. Oh, it's so expensive to buy TP when you're on low upkeep. That's like 480 gold. When you adjust for the inflation of the upkeep. Infopod. Circlet. Bracers. Oh my god, the shade dodged the dust. So now you think there is no shade. How did the Happy decide not to put shade there and not to have shade follow and then the dust happened? No, he didn't sell the Divinity, guys. It's just not showing up on the overlay for some reason. I don't know why, but he has it. You don't sell it. Shade is following again. Rock Golem has been summoned. 29 to 33 damage. Normal against ground. Piercing against air. 600 range. 500 range against air. And can stun for 1 second. It instantly dies. Instantly dies. That's so sick. Very good micro by Lin. You can stop running now. You win. The shadow goes too far. Hard shadow focus fire. Rune braces. Very big here. Blade focus fire. Could just pop the invul. Does. Focus lich. Hex. Instant invul and coil. No mana on the TC anymore. Lin has 51 pop. There is still Scroll of Restoration. He has not chosen to use it yet. Should heal wave first. Gets hexed. Forces him to use Scroll of Resto. Oh my god, TC dies. I think Lin missed the heal scroll window there. That was pretty bad. Oh my god. I think he missed the heal wave window, I should say. Heal wave. Because I feel like Lin is favored in this fight, but that's not how it should have gone. By the way, so funny. That headhunter is such garbage now. I don't think you should make any headhunters here. Wyverns actually seem like they're doing pretty well. And Raiders too. Oh, he tried to hex the Lich, which has an amulet. There's another hex. There's another coil. Oh, this is sick. He's gonna get the Lich. No, there's TP. Aye. Instant tiny great hole. Instant tiny great hole. 33 pop. Dude, I think Lin should have it. I think Lin should have it. He's making Berserker upgrade. It's... No, cancel this. Get tiny great hole. And then start spamming Raiders, I think. Raiders and Wyverns. I think that's all you need. Feels awkward to play this without economic advantage. And Happy immediately goes for another corner. Flying a couple of Gargs over. Shades are checking. Dost thou have Expo? A 2 Brute. Have you another Expo? Lin attacks. There's a Shade here. He goes for the Crypt. Does he have Pillage? He does not. It's 70%. Hits the Ensnare on the Garg, but not in an attractive position. This gives Happy the confidence that he can finish the creep camp without creepjack. And that Lin is not getting a red spot of his own. This creep could be big. I think Fellhound would be quite strong. Divinity Potion, not bad. TP. Speed Scroll to get out. Insta-Coil Nova and Devour, and Silence missed. But he Coil Nova kills a Wind Rider. For a Garg. Blade has lesser invulnerability potion. Destroyer goes down. This looks not bad for Lin. War Stomp. Even though Invul already popped. Because he was already thinking about it, he was gonna do it. Bam. That's a good invul by Happy. I mean, he's using so many resources. I don't see how Happy could do anything anymore. He doesn't even... He has no shop. He's gonna remake shop here so that he can eventually make statues again. But that's 40 seconds away. 30, 30. He has to camp base for 2 minutes to get statues back. Makes another shop here as well. Lin shows up again. Shade checks for Expo. Lin has 600 gold in the bank. Headhunters and Wyverns. A Raider, a Kodo. A Headhunter and a Raider. Is Lin gonna go back because he sees, hey, you're camping base, I'm gonna tiny great hole? Seems like it. Peons are on the move. Finally the tiny great hole. Invul pot on TC. Invul on Blade. Invul on Shadow. Still has the money for a great hole. Here we go. Probably wants to make one more lumber peon here. To keep up future lumber security since he's transferring peons over. 1, 2, 3. Actually, he's going to remake 2 peons. He'll have 1 peon on lumber. The rest will all go to items anyway. The Shade will know about this. They're all on patrol. The statues are in production. There will be mana again. He could increase mana regenerate on decay if he drops the pendant on the ground. But I think the risk that the blade shows up and steals it is too great for Happy to consider. His ghouls are 0-0 upgrades. He currently has TP and invul only on decay. No invul on anyone else. Would want to buy another, but doesn't want to get caught, so he pre-scouts with Shade. Just to approach the shop. Excuse me? May I buy invulnerable potion? We can't see the cooldown in replay, but I'm guessing it's something like 20, 30, or 10 seconds. So he's waiting for invul. We'll buy it instantly upon availability. There it is. Okay, he's got it. Blade. Almost level 6, which would be pretty darn big too. It makes him magic immune when you Blade Storm. Expo is running. He's making another shop. Also going over with Headhunters and Ratbiters. This could be anyone's fight. This is such a sick setup. 53 pop. He's next to a shop. You can get mana pots, heal pots. How much gold? 150. I think you get heal pot here, not mana pot. He did get heal pot and mana pot on TC. Yep, let's just start with the opening salvo. Just start with the coil on the blade. Why not? Let's get started. Who's he gonna go for? Statues? Invul on blade, a little late. Batrider not exploding yet. He's getting statue number 1. He invuls on the shadow just so that he can heal wave. I don't think silence was lasting that long anymore, but he wants to make sure he gets that cooldown running. That means the next silence will be actually devastating on shadow. Good micro by Lin. Targeting that destroyer and the statue. Oh, blade! Mana pot, blade storm! No! No! The shade kills the blade! Lin was in an absolutely winning position. Oh, he messed up. He messed up. The shadow is not casting enough spells. Do you see that? He barely cast anything this fight. I don't think Lin made proper use of items. But, I mean, I say that. This is Happy we're talking about. He's forcing these. Like, Happy doesn't make as many mistakes. That's why he wins. If he wins this. That was such a crazy kill on the blade. I mean, this should be completely impossible, I think, for Happy to win this fight. It was so favored against him. It was so favored against him. The destroyer didn't even die. That's crazy. Rebuys the blade. Now, he bought mana pot just now so that he could blade storm. But then he realized, I haven't got enough mana left to really do it. So now, is he gonna go in, sell slippers, or sell claws, buy blade storm, and then just buy mana pot and blade storm? He'll be like 25 mana short. That was a very early healing wave. He tried to hex the Lich. Blade mana pots. No, not again. The same mistake. Oh my god. He could have heal potted, I think. Again mana pot blade die. Oh, that's really something. He's sending another headhunter. Oh, the shade finally died? Oh no, he ritualed it or something. Wait, he deathbacked it, did he? No. What happened to the shade? I don't know. He did already use heal pot, but a heal wave must have been available. Woohoo! He dark ritual shade. Yeah, I guess it just doesn't give that much mana. I expected more, but it's ritual level 1, so it probably gives like it costs 25 and then 125, 33%, 33, 45. It gives like 25 mana if you dark ritual shade with dark ritual level 1. Wow, another gold mine on the corner. Happy 40 pop, Lin 40 pop. Lin is now remaking his blade from the altar because he hasn't got enough lumber to do it again. One Zerker. Hiding his face. Oh, that's so painful, dude. The double mana pot into death. There was so much potential. You look at the win rate graph for this game. If Warcraft 3 had win rate graph, I think... If it doesn't account for Happy is Happy and Lin is Lin, you just look at the stats. I think Lin is in a 90%er or more. And it looks like Happy's winning this. Yeah, Rune Bracer's not on Blade. I mean, Shadow is also at risk. I think Happy checks who it's on as well. It's good to pass it over now and then to confuse an opponent, but at the end of the day, it's 50-50. Both Blade and Shadow are vulnerable, so they both want it. think in that moment it's good to just target the Lich, just to make sure that all coils go to the Lich. If the coils are going to the Lich to save Lich, then they can't go to your Blade or Shadow. Invul, of course, creates an exclusion rule for the Lich. That's why I think first Invul has to be traded out with the Lich's Invul. Happy's now on 2 bases. Now it's up to Lin to do the same thing that Happy did to him. And now the braces is on the Blade again. Now Lin has to do against Happy the reverse Uno. Wait, does he have Big Bad Voodoo? No, Hex level 3. Invul pot. Target Lich. Blade Storm, War Stomp. Oh, he just TPs. Wait, you can still get Lich? Nah, Invul. Okay, that's -1 Raider. Minus TP Invul on Happy. But now you have to fight in the Undead base. Not great. You still have Blade Storm, so I think you just send it. Just send it. Blade Storm in the middle of all of it. Hit, Blade Storm. Do it. But he has no invul. He can't do it yet. Nice Hex on the DK. Another TP! He TPs out of the Blade Storm! And now he's next to the shop behind cigarettes. This is really hard to reach. Another TP! He's doing another TP! What the fuck is this? And now the TC is stuck. What? He can't reach the Blade with Heal Wave. He can't reach the Blade. It's silenced too. Oh my god. What? Just keep TPing. Dude, who would make that decision in that moment? Who would make that decision to just throw money at the problem to reposition tiny little amounts? Tiny little amounts. But enough to be on the other side of your Halls of the Dead. Bro. Grubby, check Lin's Island Expo during the last fight. Don't tell me that Zeppelin dropped the shredder there. I bet he did. I bet he did. You could drop ghouls too, but the usual move is to fly your Zeppelin from top left to bottom left. You go past the laboratory and you buy shredder. This is a common play at high level. It is the play that is available to you when you have the resources. It was ghouls actually. Oh wow. Well then we don't have to look at it. Alright, that was sick. TP! TP again! You're so lucky with these TPs, Happy! Oh my god. That was sick. The score is now 3-3. And the final map is Turtle Rock. Alright, final map is Turtle Rock. Score is 3-3. It's Happy against Lin for advancement in the Don't Force Me Cup 2025 mid-season finals. This is not a fast expansion maps. This is not a fast expansion maps. In fact, it is not a maps. It is a map. Turtle Rock is not plural after all. This is level 15 creep camp. This is a level 20 creep camp. Too big to expand. Lin doing some 4P on micro, which is very manageable, particularly on this spot on Turtle Rock. Which, instead of dropping your gold income from 100% to 80% if you do nothing, he's probably at about 95%. We look at his gold, it's at 11,840. This is 11,920. He's got more gold than Happy, of course. Undead has a budgeted Acolyte cut as well. To make the earlier Altar Crypt and Ziggurat. Blade Voodoo Lounge tech. Still 4P on micro by Lin. That means he can tech earlier. Normally with this build he techs at 154 to 158 depending on the map. Now he might be able to hit a 150. Ooh, that's clean. 148. 4P on micro produced a tech that's 5 to 10 seconds faster. That's 5 to 10 seconds faster Shadow Hunter. Now we know more about how Lin likes to creep his shadow. He finds a creep level 5, hexes it, and then sends it back to base with AI abuse. But there are no level 5 creeps on Turtle Rock outside of this Ogre Magi, and you can bet your behind that this Ogre Magi will no longer be available by the time Shadow comes out. Actually, I say that may not be true, but what I will say, even if it is still available, I don't think Happy's gonna let him farm it. Because it's contested. Lin starts an invalid creep route. Because Happy shows up early. That's a pity that he invested damage into an Ogre Warrior that he can now not finish. Where are you going? He wanted to scout? I don't know. Lin goes for the Ogre Warrior. Will not steal anything. The claws of attack goes to the DK, but he does get a ghoul. Coil forced because Happy intrinsically knew, the same thing that Lin knew, that the Windwalk would exactly be on time to steal the creep. That's a creep steal. That's a good one. That's 32 experience stolen. That's a 64 XP swing. 40 from the ghoul, 32 stolen. Not a bad production so far for Lin. You can say that he had 102 XP value so far. 72 plus the 42, the 32 he denied. 104 XP value.
Are under attack.
Happy comes in to creep the green camp of Lin. He always does this against people that skip racks, apparently, as we've seen from this series. Going inside the turtle to try and attack Death Knight, but Lin mistimed the end of his Windwalk and it ran out. He then gave a command, which actually forced him out. He got the cloak this time, not the creep. And almost got the turtle, but will just have to satisfy himself with the level 1 skeleton that gives 12 XP. Ritual Dagger on the Death Knight to start healing up to I think 250, 225 health, something like that. It's gonna keep running in a direction. The ghouls and skeleton are the decoy. Now you can see Unholy Aura disappeared, which means DK left. That means that Lin should know, if he's paying attention, that the DK went somewhere, and he can guess that it would be this turtle level 4.
Players' forces are under attack.
Which could then be crept together with a new set of ghouls that come from home. However, that's not what's happening. Happy tries to solo the Ogre Warrior. Wait, did he actually think he could take it? Yeah, he wants to pull it out. Or is this a blade denial tactic? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get what that was about. How did he run? I mean, he knows Blade was near, and he knows that it is a high value contest point. Yeah, so this is where Lin tries to do the hex pull again on the Ogre Magi. The Ogre Magi loses threat because it is a sheep. Things that have no threat run from things that have threat. So he will just keep running. And even when the hex disappears, he still thinks like a sheep for a while. So he keeps running and not attacking back. It's the beauty of Warcraft 3 AI. Gets the Pendant of Energy. And DK goes for the Troll level 6. This ghoul's getting attacked. Happy attacks his own gold mine with ghouls that drop low so that they fall to the bottom of the threat table. This is how he doesn't lose creep. He doesn't lose ghouls to creeps. Whereas most people would lose 5 ghouls here. The majority of people would lose all their ghouls here. Of course, you should not lose a single ghoul when you creep. Most silver or gold players would not attempt this camp with 4 ghouls. Happy gets it and gets a nice level 3 Death Knight from it with Belt of Giant Strength. No, he was already level 3. Strike that. He gets Belt of Giant Strength plus 6. Gargoyle production for the Wyverns. And Venom Spears is coming. DK Lich on the prowl. What he wants right now is to find a Wind Rider, Nova it, which slows it, which allows Gargs to connect and get 2 hits. That's 60 damage per hit. 120. There it is. That's a Nova. 360, 64, and 2-3 Garg hits, 2 Lich hits, and it's dead. That is not good for Lyn. He has Speed Scroll to save his Wyverns. That's the Slippers. Nice items on Blade. But he's level 2-1, and he has learned that fights with DK Lich this early are not advantageous and will just yield. Now, is Happy going to keep chasing? Happy could just creep the shop here. But then he knows that Lyn will creep something like this Turtle 7. Lyn right now is desperate for levels and items. Blade is getting some scouting. It's a 20-second Windwalk, not 35 yet, so he has to make use of the Windwalk to do something. There was a skeleton here. Happy's scouting is immaculate, so he knows roughly where Shadow is, what his options are. This is an option, but it's a high-risk camp if you get creepjacked, because these 2 orange guys have ensnare, so you will lose Wyverns. Happy going for the contain. Turtle Rock is a large place, but it has a constricting groundway network. So if you stand in a certain central spot, like the middle, the tavern, in front of someone's base, there are no ways to basically make yourself scarce and go somewhere else. You can't run away from someone standing here like this. You'll just be backstabbed or your base will be attacked. So Turtle Rock really rewards people that have the superior army and the superior bravado.
A player's forces are under attack.
And Happy is representing that with his 3rd hero pickup. He knows before Blade 3, Shadow 3, those are pretty weak. He's just going to start with a little bit of attrition. That's a 6-unit Acid Bomb hit. Acid Bomb debuffs armor, which rewards follow-up auto attacks. But it also has a minuscule amount of splash damage. At level 1 it's minuscule, then it gets bigger and bigger. It's enough for Lyn to want to heal wave it. Do that over and over, and then let your statue gain mana, and you'll make an impact on the enemy's mana pool, more than on your own. That feels like a not possible creep camp. There's a coil, but the Hex on the Lich delays the first Nova. And a triple bat explosion. Pretty good. No Wyverns have gone down yet. So that's how to do the fight, and we've seen that a couple of times from Lyn. You open with a Hex on the Lich. Prevents the Nova. Especially now that Nova range got nerfed from 800 to 700. The coil lands on the bat, but the Nova that was expected to finish the bat never comes. And you don't lose the attack speed on the Wyverns. Not ideal that a Wyvern is getting attacked by a turtle here. Scroll of the Beast is pretty good, especially when used early. Before destroyers, but there is of course a destroyer. Also Scroll of the Beast. Better for Undead than for Orc. Ghouls are better benefiters, and Orb of Corruption exacerbates the effect. It amplifies the effect of Scroll of the Beast because of the armor debuff. Dust, he's afraid of Shade, which basically lost him the game last game. Is he gonna Shade when he's on the Ogre Lord? So he doesn't get creepjacked? Or will he just play it by ear if he gets creepjacked?
A player's forces are
play it by ear. This is a good creep camp to get. But Lyn is not the only one getting it. Decent item, Cloak of Flames. Better on TC than on Blade. Helm of Valor. Also pretty darn good. Helm of Valor is the safest Lich item to get. Together with Endurance Aura, I guess. The Amulet of whatever +5 strength int is also very valuable. Gives him health and damage and mana.
Forces are under attack.
This also gives a bit of damage, bit of armor, and extra health. He actually ends up giving it to the Alchemist, which makes sense. Alchemist has low natural agility and is a strength hero, so he greatly benefits from both stats. This guy is 1100 health, doing 70 damage autos. Old Turtle Rock had no tomes, so it's understandable that players are forgetting it. You play for 20 years with no tome on the turtle. Now it has it and it feels weird.
A player's forces are under attack.
Item XP. Item goes to Lyn, XP goes to Happy. Nice Devour there on the Wind Riders. Gives Destroyer a lot of mana and damage. Shadow getting surrounded. He gets... Oh no, God! Invul Potion not given to Shadow and Shadow dies! This fight did not go well for Lyn. My dog was a little concerned about that, but he went back to bed. False alarm. He heard me cry out in a panic, and surely I feel that panic of the Shadow dying. He looked at me to see if I'm just overreacting over nothing and pixels on the screen again, and sure enough, that's the case. So back to Beauty Nap. Temple of the Damned. 1/1 upgrades. Shade. It's amazing... Here, he's forgetting all the tomes. It's amazing how many additional upgrades Happy can make. How many... No, what I mean to say... How many additional investments Happy is able to make. When I'm playing Undead, I'm always out of gold because I have to replace units. But he can expand.
A player's forces
Queue
are
up
under
1/1.
attack.
Temple. Banshees. Shades. TC is still level 1. It looks good for Happy.
Banana.
Banana. Thank you, Rigo. What did he get? Rope of the Magi +6. Insta Coil Nova on the lid, on the blade. He's got no Rune Bracers this time. Shade is revealing him. It's looking dire indeed for Lyn. Lyn was gonna do that Headhunter switch thing again. But he has no creeps.
Players' forces are under attack.
Happy is creeping the entire map. It's the best way to increase your lead. If you can get all the orange creeps so the opponent cannot contest, and you scout well to prevent enemy from expanding, this is the best way to increase your lead and to make yourself less mistake prone and more inoculated against mistakes. Even if you make them, you can rebuy and you've got a fat hero again. Lots of items.
A player's forces are under attack.
I thought that's gonna be a boneyard. I don't know why. It looked big. You're winning. Might as well go boneyard. But nope. It will be more ghouls. I think Orc Undead is...
Fuck you, Bezos.
Thanks for the prime. I think Orc Undead is fairly balanced, actually. At some levels, I think Orc may have the advantage in micro, but I think Undead has the advantage in macro. Like, if you go to, like, 1000 MMR, which is pretty low level, but still much better than some, I think Undead Cryptlord Vexpo has the lead against Orc. I think it's easier to play and will win more of the time. But then if you go a bit higher to like 1600 MMR, I think Orc might have the advantage again. Because they'll have figured out a bit how to play against Expo. And the Undead Micro isn't good enough to make it work the way that Happy does. But then if you go a little bit up from 1600 MMR to 3000, which is where Happy, Fortitude and Lyn are, then I think it's pretty balanced. If you're happy, you have the advantage. And if you're not happy, you probably don't have the advantage. Second ranks.
Players' forces are under attack.
But he's only getting little creep camps. The TC is not even level 2. Oh, this is hard to watch. The lead of Happy is so insurmountable now. Got a couple of Banshees with him as well, just for curse. He's solo creeping the Death Knight. DK 5. This Alchemist has 1200 life. With 8 armor. That's an effective health of something like 1700 against physical attacks. And outside of the little bit of poison, there is no magic damage. Not even War Stomp yet. Alchemist is so fat, he doesn't need Potion of Invulnerability. Lich has it, DK has TP. That's Invul too. Gargoyles, Gulgark. Gulgark Banshee. All the really cool fat units that most lower level undeads like to make, including myself. Fiends, A-bombs, Necros, Frostworms. Happy spits on those. He likes units only if they have low health. Acolytes, Shades, Gargs, Banshee, Ghoul. Oh yeah, and Destroyer. Destroyer's pretty good. Acid Bomb only on the blade. Somehow he's okay with that. You would think you want to target a cluster, but no. He knows blade is the only thing that could threaten him. He will force invul and then he'll target it again. Bam, instantly. Coil Nova, Acid Bomb instantly. After. And now there's nothing left. He's just gonna auto attack it with DK. He'll wait the 5 seconds required for coil. That is crazy micro by Happy. Like, I don't think it's the best, but I think it's just he's proving like a theoretical point here. Like, I can do this. That one missed, that auto, because the shade was not in range. 52 pop, 45. I think that was a terrible fight by Happy. It's pretty much everything was on A move. DK right clicked the blade. He Coil Nova Acid Bomb the blade. Then Coil Nova Acid Bomb the blade again. Then he Coil Nova Acid Bomb the shadow, which killed it. And then he TP'd. Well done by Lin. Yeah, actually very well done by Lin. I should not be viewing it from the perspective of mistakes. This is my own ego and arrogance and judgmentalism at play. Insane micro by Lin. Yeah. No. For sure. Rebuys the shadow. To attack the gold mine. Open with the Coil Nova Acid Bomb on Blade. Blade has heal pot. Blade tries to run. He's gonna use heal pot, but he will just die, right? GG. Lin knows he's up against the gold mine. He tries to surround the Lich because it's satisfying to try and do so, but Shadow dies. This is also about giving a show to the viewers. Letting all his units die so that people have more closure about the loss. I actually sometimes thought about this. You can leave when you know it's over beyond a doubt. But for the final game in a series, you should let everything die. For the viewers' closure. I know it's like a silly reason, it has nothing to do with competition, but it has a lot to do with showmanship. And I think Lin did that here. Lin did that for the viewers. GG, amazing game by both of them. Insane comeback by Happy, who wins the series 4-3 and would go on to go to the grand finals of the Don't Force Me Cup 25 mid-season finals. Sick game. Lin was leading with 3-2 and Happy won that game on Twisted Meadows. That should have been unwinnable, actually. So he completely deserves it. Both played fantastic. There were mistakes on both sides, but much more than that. There were hundreds of thousands of correct plays that sees these two on top of the world, on the throne of their respective races, and very often number one in the world. Sick game. Lin was crazy good. Apparently Lin won the last 3 series against Happy. All best of 5s and 7s as well. So this is once again a sign of Happy's triumph. Already there's talk in the community Reddit, which is a very important voice of the community, of course. There's talk that Happy is ruining Undead for non-Happy players. Because Undead is getting nerfed by the basis of Happy's results. And that Blizzard has nerfed Undead because of Happy being that good. But it's a Happy is a freak of nature kind of thing. Or Happy has worked harder and is better than everyone else kind of thing. But Undead as a race is getting punished. So it is so sweet to see that even after Undead gets some nerfs, and I actually forgot exactly what they are, Happy still wins the matches. GG.